Rising from the Ashes, the extraordinary power of starting over at 55. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we explore stories that challenge, inspire, and redefine what's possible in life and business. Today, we're diving into a narrative that will shake you to your core and make you question everything you thought you knew about second chances and the resilience of the human spirit. I had the incredible privilege of interviewing Karen Bowie, a woman whose journey is nothing short of miraculous. Karen's story isn't just inspiring. It's a testament to the indomitable human will and the extraordinary power of faith in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Her experiences and insights have the potential to transform lives and make the world a better place, one renewed spirit at a time. Imagine this. You're 55 years old. You spent decades building a life, a career, an identity. Then, in what feels like the blink of an eye, it's all gone. Poof, vanished. Your world crumbles around you, leaving you standing in the rubble of what was once your life. What would you do? Would you crumple under the weight of despair, or would you, like Karen, see this devastation as the fertile soil for a new beginning? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Starting over at 55, that's impossible. Well, buckle up, because Karen's story is about to challenge everything you think you know about age, resilience, and the power of a fresh start. Let's be real for a moment. We live in a world that often glorifies youth and novelty. We're bombarded with stories of 20-something tech geniuses and 30-something self-made millionaires. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you haven't made it by a certain age, you've missed your chance. But what if I told you that this notion is not just wrong, but dangerously limiting? Karen's journey isn't just about overcoming adversity. It's about redefining what adversity means. It's about looking life's harshest blows square in the face and saying, is that all you got? It's about transforming pain into purpose, despair into determination, and loss into legacy. Now, let me be clear. This isn't some fairy tale where everything magically works out. Karen's path was fraught with challenges, setbacks, and moments of gut-wrenching doubt. There were days when the weight of starting over felt too heavy to bear. But here's the kicker. It's in those moments of near breaking that Karen found her true strength. Think about it. How many times have you faced a setback and seen it as the end of the road? How often have you allowed a failure to define you rather than refine you? Karen's story challenges us to reframe our perspective on failure and loss. It invites us to see these moments not as endpoints, but as launch pads, opportunities to reassess, realign, and ultimately ascend to heights we never thought possible. Let me share with you a moment from Karen's journey that illustrates this perfectly. There was a day, not long after she had lost everything, when Karen found herself standing in a grocery store staring at a can of beans. It was all she could afford, and even that was a stretch. In that moment, surrounded by abundance she couldn't access, Karen had a choice to make. She could give in to the despair threatening to overwhelm her, or she could choose to see this moment differently. You know what she did? She bought those beans with the last of her money, went home, and turned them into the most delicious meal she could muster. And as she sat there eating her humble dinner, she made a decision. She decided that this moment wasn't the end of her story, but the beginning of a new chapter. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's a nice story, but come on, how does making the best of a can of beans translate to actually rebuilding a life? Fair question, but here's the thing. It's not about the beans. It's about the mindset. It's about choosing to see possibility where others see only problems. It's about having the audacity to believe that your best days are still ahead of you, even when all evidence points to the contrary. This is where Karen's unwavering faith comes into play. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, she found solace and strength in her belief that there was a greater plan for her life. This faith wasn't just a comfort, it was a catalyst. It propelled her forward when everything else seemed to be pulling her back. Karen's faith taught her an invaluable lesson. Sometimes the path to a higher level isn't always upward. Sometimes it requires us to fall, to stumble, to feel completely lost before we can find our way to something greater than we ever imagined. It's a paradoxical truth that many of us struggle to accept, that our lowest points can often be the foundation for our greatest achievements. Let me give you another example from Karen's journey. And there was a point when she had to swallow her pride and take a job that, by all societal standards, was beneath her previous position. It was a humbling experience, to say the least. But you know what? It was in that job, doing work that many would consider menial, that Karen rediscovered her passion for serving others. This experience taught her a crucial lesson about humility. In a world that often equates success with status and wealth, Karen learned that true strength often comes from acknowledging our vulnerabilities and limitations. She discovered that there's immense power in being willing to start from the bottom, to learn new skills, to admit what we don't know. This humility allowed Karen to approach her new beginning with an open mind and a willingness to learn. She didn't let pride or past accomplishments hold her back. Instead, she approached each new challenge as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to evolve. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your own life. What areas are you feeling stuck in? Where have you been hesitant to make a change or take a risk because you think it's too late or you're too old? I want you to challenge those thoughts. I want you to look at them through the lens of Karen's experience. What if, instead of seeing your age or your past failures as limitations, you saw them as unique qualifications for the journey ahead? What if every setback, every loss, every moment of doubt was actually setting you up for a comeback beyond your wildest dreams? Let me share one more story from Karen's journey that illustrates this point beautifully. A few years into her journey of starting over, Karen found herself in a position to start her own business. It was a small venture, nothing like the high-powered career she had before. But here's the interesting part. All those skills she had gained in her menial job, combined with the wisdom from her previous career and the resilience she had built through her struggles, created a unique recipe for success. Karen's business didn't just survive, it thrived. And you know why? Because she brought to it a perspective that only someone who had hit rock bottom and clawed their way back up could have. She understood her clients in a way her competitors couldn't, because she had walked in their shoes. She could solve problems creatively because she had spent years doing more with less. This, my friends, is the power of starting over. It's not about erasing your past or pretending your struggles didn't happen. It's about integrating all of your experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, into a new, more powerful version of yourself. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for Karen, but my situation is different. I've made too many mistakes. I've wasted too much time. It's too late for me. To that, I say, hogwash. Yes, you heard me right. Hogwash. Let me tell you something. It's never too late to rewrite your story. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. You can always choose to begin again, regardless of your age or circumstances. And here's the kicker. Sometimes those very things you see as obstacles, your age, your past failures, your current limitations, can become your greatest assets in your new chapter. Think about it. What if your failures have actually been preparing you for your greatest success? What if your age, instead of being a limitation, is actually your secret weapon, giving you a wealth of experience and wisdom that no young hotshot could match? Karen's story teaches us that it's okay to be afraid. It's natural to feel overwhelmed when facing significant changes or challenges. The key is not to let that fear paralyze you. Instead, let it motivate you. Let it push you to take that first step, however small it might be, towards the life you want to create. Remember, Karen didn't rebuild her life overnight. It was a process filled with ups and downs, victories, and setbacks, but she persevered one day at a time, one decision at a time. And that's the secret consistency. It's about waking up each day and choosing to move forward, even when the path isn't clear, even when doubt creeps in. So, here's my challenge to you. I want you to think about an area in your life where you've been playing it safe, where you've been telling yourself it's too late to change, too risky to try something new. Got it? Good. Now, I want you to make a commitment right here, right now, to take one small step towards change in that area. Maybe it's updating your resume for that career change you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's signing up for a class to learn a new skill. Maybe it's simply admitting to yourself that you're not satisfied with where you are and you're ready for a change. Whatever it is, take that step. And then tomorrow, take another one. Because here's the truth. Your journey of starting over, of reinvention, of becoming the person you were always meant to be, it starts now. Not when you have everything figured out, not when the conditions are perfect, now. You see, Karen's story isn't just about her, it's about all of us. It's about the untapped potential that lies within each of us, waiting to be unleashed. It's about the strength we all possess, often hidden beneath layers of doubt and fear. As we wrap up our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Life isn't about avoiding falls, it's about how we get back up. It's about finding strength in our brokenness and using that strength to rebuild ourselves into something even more beautiful and resilient than before. It's about trusting that even when we can't see the way forward, there is a path leading us to greater heights than we ever imagined. So, my friends, are you ready? Are you ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about what's possible in your life? Are you ready to look at your setbacks, not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to a higher purpose? Are you ready to embrace the extraordinary power of starting over, regardless of your age or circumstances? Because let me tell you, the world needs your comeback story. We need your resilience, your wisdom, your unique perspective. We need the version of you that emerges from the ashes of what was, ready to create what could be. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you rise. So rise up, start again. Let your own journey of resilience and renewal begin today, because who knows, your greatest chapter might just be the one you haven't written yet. Thank you for joining us on the Black CEO podcast. May Karen's journey inspire you to embrace your own fresh starts, to face your challenges with courage and humility, and to always believe in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. Now go out there and show the world what starting over really looks like.